Either it is based on land grabbing, cattle rustling, cattle this, whatever it is, that is the component. That's why United States Institute of Peace never mention religion. So when you go to the United States and you push religion, that you are being persecuted before you are Christian, to me, is a mischaracterization of the real issue. What is the implication of Nigeria being designated as a country of particular concern? Well, if a country is designated as a country of particular concern, what happened is that that country is likely to come under sanction. And the sanction can be either of these four. It can be on travel ban, it can be embargo on the sale of arms to you, it can also be trade-related embargo, where there is this tariff or whatever trade restriction. And it can be the fourth one, I think I can't remember. Either of these four can happen to you. Now, some of these Nigerians who are overzealous and are wanting this thing to come on Nigeria because either you are in the opposition or you are even a pastor, you feel that this thing should happen. If the embargo or ban is placed on Nigeria, maybe you've been going there to preach. Nigerians can't go to America. You know, recently, Donald Trump banned certain countries where people from those countries can't go there. So you have to know, if you are somebody that travels abroad for what, it can be religious, it can be trade, it can be business. If a sanction is placed on you, that is likely going to affect. But there are those who will say the Tinubu government has to do a lot of work because these things are being instigated by Nigerians. So let me tell you why lately Nigerians have been crying for long about insecurity. They've been pushing this issue of religion for a long time. But these guys in the West, that's why I say it's orchestrated agenda. These guys in the West never paid attention to it until an event happened at the United Nations. And 24 hours after that event, Bill Maher was the first to start talking. And he said that is killing of Nigeria. If you're Western media, you are not talking about it. Shame on you. And I don't know why the Nigerian people are not in the street protesting. After he said that, two other podcasters said it. And then before you know, the senators, who are APAC-backed senators, and senators who have ailing political career, those ones continue to say it and ask people to retreat. Now, this is how you will know that it is agenda. When Nigerians were crying insecurity, what did they do? They didn't do anything. Until now, they feel the opportunity presents itself for them to pick that thing up in order to create problem for Nigeria. And you talked about Marco Rubio may buy into it. Because before now, when Marco Rubio was an ordinary senator, Marco Rubio was among the persons who were pushing for that kind of a thing. But we are committed in bringing out the falsehood. We admit there is insecurity in Nigeria and we're fighting it. We have made significant progress since 2023 when the president came. None of the insecurity in Nigeria relates to religion. And we are making the progress that is required. How do we repair what has become a very concerning situation? So what we are doing first is to do a pushback on that. I just came back from France where I granted an interview with the French television. We are going to be in all the Western media to state the facts as they are. You know, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria and we're fighting insecurity. Donald Trump has the highest confidence of Nigeria. In fact, Donald Trump, when he came in 2016, he committed to selling and started selling to us some of the ammunitions that the previous government didn't give us. He knows the importance of Nigeria and the strategic position that Nigeria plays in fighting against insecurity. All these things that these senators are doing, tending to push him to make official statement or take a position, will not work because this agenda is premised purely. But what are we doing locally? I mean, if the optics and the reputation is what is being damaged, what about the real action on the ground? Is this government really saving lives of Nigerians? Are Nigerians safer today than their lives were before this government came into office? Nigerians were superlatively safer today than they were, because you know that before 2013 or 2023, there were prison breaks everywhere in Nigeria, even in Abuja here. You couldn't come, the daylight, they will come and kidnap people. Before President Bwala Tinubu came on board. And then you saw those everyday killings in every part of this country. But after he became president, we have not had prison break. People are going about their businesses all across the country. We see skirmishes of insecurity every now and then, which is usual. If you look at the world crime record now, the crime that are committed on an average in a day in America is more than the ones committed in Nigeria. Right now, if you look at it. In England the other day, a Jewish community was attacked in Manchester. You would have thought they wouldn't have crisis. In America, Charles Kirk was talking in the daylight. They killed him. So some of this insecurity you will see there, but in a whole, this government is making all of the progress required. Daniel Bwala.
Absolute madman. You know. So Daniel Bulaba says you are safer today. There's no prison break, which is a lie. You've had 2 already, since Tinubu came in. You've had the mass killings, and these are not somebody being assassinated like Charlie Kirk, Abi waiting column, or a synagogue being attacked in London, where people were injured. That's not similar to what you have in that contraption. We are talking about mass killings. Mass killings. And today, the word is flat. Flat. It's only something that you don't want to know that you won't know. You get what I mean now? These days, it is now more or less like ignorance is by choice. And the rest of the world lives on information. Information like this, hotspots in the world. What is the role of their government? Is gaslighting us. If they place an embargo on Nigeria, Nigeria will have we suffer. You Nigerians that goes to America, if you allow them to place embargo on Nigeria, you won't be able to go to America. In a lie. You have weapons that you spend trillions of naira on. Some of them also being given to you for free. But what do you do with them? You ended up playing defense for ragtag terrorists. Sometimes you even allow them to go in and steal these weapons to even kill your soldiers. The world sees all of this. So what's the use? What's the usefulness of an embargo that is not placed on Nigeria? Now, if placing embargo on you criminals will get you to actually really get serious, protect the lives of everyone, go after the terrorists and stop having peace meeting with terrorists. Maybe if there is sanction will help you do that, so be it. What is the benefit of a non-embargoed Nigeria? Where terrorists are having open peace meeting. In Katsina yesterday, 5 local government areas simultaneously had what they call the peace meeting in one location. Peace meeting with terrorists in one location. If you see the massive army, Baba, the terrorism industry in Nigeria is growing. Gone were the days when you used to have Alhaji Shekau as the topmost #1 terrorist leader for the Boko Haram at the time, remember? Then the moment the ISWAP guys killed Alhaji Shekau and they, divided this kind of like a company, Boko Haram, right? While others went to go and join ISIS, Islamic State. Then you have the Lakurawa, who is also linked to the Islamic State. Then you have the Fulani terrorists, who are also linked to all these Sahel terrorists, all of them unleashed on Nigeria, especially in the last 10 years. The world sees all of this. So you can't protect Nigerians. You just want them to get used to being killed. One single location, when I edited, stretched the video, right? I had to kind of like ended up cutting half of the army down because right now, the Fulani terrorists, you have more than 50 groups with their own army, all of them scattered all over Nigeria. And they operate the same way on the bikes with their weapons. And when you see them in their hundreds, you'll be asking yourself, if the Nigerian government is actually really dealing with these terrorists, how come they are getting more recruits? Why won't they get more recruits? Where state government is buying security from terrorists, where federal government is funding terrorists by buying peace in the areas they could control, where terrorists now have places called ungoverned areas in Nigeria. Do you think the rest of the world needs to be told? They are killing Christians, they are killing Muslims. Who are those killing them? And what are you doing with them? they are making peace with them. Before Boko Haram, there was nothing like this in Katsina State before 2015. When Boko Haram and APC, Egbekegbe, came in, and the Fulani terrorists gained notoriety, they went as far as kidnapping Boko Haram's in-law, who happened to be the head of the Daura community. They killed his wife, or one of his wives, and they had to pay ransom before he was released. This was when Boko Haram was in government. By the time Boko Haram finished, right, if they are asking about Boko Haram's legacy, that is Boko Haram's legacy for Nigeria. His own state became overrun with terrorists, Fulani terrorists, to the point that they are holding the states, not just the states, so more than 12 other states, to ransom like this, where their state governors, most of them Sharia governors, are rooting for these guys by making sure that the military doesn't come around and just bomb or kill them. They called it non-kinetic. They will package money and give it to them for peace. So what you witnessed there involved the government officials, security agents, and all of them. They were all there to witness a peace deal. The terrorists comes with their guns and they left with their weapons as well. APC, logic or definition of we are sorting this, we are fixing the problem. So you that is witnessing all of this and with what you just see, the Ronukus this one was it was yesterday. Yesterday. Ronukus will tell you that now old video, now new video, now before that, others will say for peace to reign, since the government cannot do everything, so they have to make peace with these terrorists. But I've read ridiculous take. And the same set of people witnesses this peace they are making as they are doing peace deal. Other terrorists are killing elsewhere. They are kidnapping people elsewhere and making ridiculous demand as ransom. And police will advise you to go and pay the ransom. Pay them all. Pay you. But in public, they say, no, don't pay ransom to terrorists. But state government, they pay ransom to terrorists in Nigeria. There is no intention of actually really crushing them or ending them, like somebody with a plan. No one, no, not even the opposition, have come up with a plan and say, you know what, here is my plan. If I become your president, how I am going to eliminate these terrorists. You get what I mean? Like, oh, okay, for example, let's say me, I'll be your president, so that I don't go say, I know they give solution, not just to criticize, right? Now, you will tell me if what I'm about to say is practical or it is just imagination that won't finish me. President of a country, not Maiyegun. Let's assume say Maiyegun is your president now. Well, how are you going to end terrorism in Nigeria, Maiyegun? Very simple. Because if I become your president, right, I won't just be Maiyegun anymore. I will have access to every resource and all the resources, all the intels, all the information that I need. So considering that I will have access to that, right? Here is my plan. You have all the areas where these terrorists have already gained ground and their governors are rooting for them. So I will have a chance to know those who are using their positions to block every effort in crushing these terrorists. So they will be my first go-to. You know, when you begin to read the news that these powerful people, that powerful one, the other powerful person, they've been arrested. And they're not just being arrested because immediately that you look for that particular part of your laws that you can use to quickly put them away. With your evidence, I mean, not like the one they are doing right now. These are sponsors of terrorism, whether they are funding them or using their positions in government to shield them. Whatever it is that, even if it's just one thing like this you did 4 years ago that you are no longer doing it, you have changed your mind, you will pay. So the next step will be to focus on those hotspots because we know that these poor people that they are displacing and killing from their communities, right? It's not because they wanted money or anything from them. It's not because they valued their land that much. Most of them are being chased away because of what they've discovered under their lands. And the best way to access all those stuff, right, is to displace them. So me, as an ordinary person right now, I have about 2-3 names of those that will first go to jail if I am your president, right? Because of their link to illegal mining in Nigeria, which simply means if you are involved in illegal mining, there is a chance that you are also going to involve in illegal gun running. They are always going pari passu. You get me now? So when I pick all these kind of people, the first 6 months, and that 6 months is just going to be like a kind of like a gap window for those ones who won't come surrender before they are killed. You have 6 months from today. That first 6 months is to grab all those their sponsors. Some will run away, right? But obviously, that will be the first link of weakening them. That is if you are not like Western puppets anyway. But I'm saying if it was me, Maiyegun. Then after that, while all of that's going on, right? That first 6 months, you are training a special force or selecting the special force from your own army. Their job is to eliminate these terrorists and their leaders in the best way possible. Do you understand? So if you have to train them for that 6 months, geography, terrains, jump, fitness, or whatever it is, tactic or whatever, 6 months, just give me 10,000 of them. So if you miss that 6-month window as a terrorist in Nigeria and you have not left Nigeria, the ideal thing is just possibly for you to be counting your days. 1 year clamp down on these terrorists and their sponsor will send a very strong message to those ones you are even missing in that plot. Like, why you are doing all of that?